Okay, welcome. I'm Dr. Barry Taylor, and we are doing a discussion together, having a discussion together, creating, using our physical body as a temple for healing. So let's kind of let go of the last few moments, last few hours, the day. Put your feet flat on the floor if you would. Kind of push the small of your back toward your belly button. If you're comfortable enough to let your eyes close, I want to welcome you and thank you. And on your own, visualize your meadow. This is a clearing, and the way we've been visualizing or presencing, how about that, your meadow, is to first still your body. See if you can stop moving 100%. And your hands are either face up or face down, uncrossed. Your whole body is open. Kind of work your head so it's right over the center of your body. Notice if you're cocked one way or another. Straighten your head and use your senses on your own. Bring your sight and vision. See what's in your meadow. Then move to listen. Are there sounds? Are there birds? Can you hear the wind? See if you can not move your body. See if you can keep your body still. Take a nice deep breath. Nice deep breath through the bottoms of your feet. Breathe. Do you smell anything in your meadow? A couple of nice, slow, deep breaths without moving your body, keeping your body as still as possible. Hard to control your emotions, hard to control your thoughts if you're having difficulty controlling your body. That's why we're just, rather than controlling your body, see if you can just intend to not move your hands, not move your neck. Just be still. And if you wish, bend down and touch something in your meadow or move to touch anything and feel with your sense of touch. So, one way of making things very present is to up regulate, power up, energize your senses of smelling, touching. You could put something in your mouth to taste it. And rather than just having your mind kind of jump around anywhere, we call that monkey mind. When you follow someone's instructions in a visualization, you can presence yourself in your imagination. You're opening up brain cells in the right part of your brain. Take a couple of deep breaths and really bring in the experience of what it's like as you presence your meadow. And as I've said before, you can come to your meadow for 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, just as a something other than having your mind be distracted, thinking about whatever it wants to think. You can just keep being in your meadow. And in these conversations about using our body as a temple for healing, we also were visualizing a sanctuary. So, with a couple of slow, deep breaths, allow yourself to bring to your mind's eye, allow yourself to be in your sanctuary. This is a room that you've decorated however you do. So what this room is comfortable, it's familiar, and it's the same room when I've guided you to go to a sanctuary, when you go to a sanctuary, like when you go to your meadow, it's the same meadow. When you go to your sanctuary, keep your body still and do the same thing. Look carefully, smell, breathe, listen. Are there any sounds in this room? And you have some mental references with a word like sanctuary. I don't know if you have a sanctuary in the house you live in. Maybe people go to churches and temples because there are sanctuaries there, but sanctuaries have a certain connotation in our language. So I'm asking you to relate to an inner sanctuary that you've created with your imagination. And just for another moment or two, allow yourself to dwell in your sanctuary. What's the lighting like? What's the coloring like? And notice whether you're comfortable or not. Please breathe. Now, these two imaginations of your creation, either, both, can be ways that you center yourself and kind of leave other emotions and other thoughts behind, particularly if you can keep your eyes closed, stop moving, be still, and can you go inside to kind of still yourself, to kind of be open, really receive things that are being offered to you. All of these offerings on this series of Our Body as a Temple for Healing are to kind of tickle and provoke you to reinforce things that you're thinking, but particularly to open up some possibilities that maybe you haven't been thinking. So take the energy of your sanctuary, just really just breathe it in. And whatever way you will, allow your eyes slowly to open and bringing that awareness as we continue this discussion for a while. I'm going to let Honey into my office. And thank you very much. So, our body is a temple for healing. Tonight's our physical body. Even the wording is a little suspicious. It presupposes a context. Using your physical body for healing. And you know, those of you who've read and studied my book with me know that I make a distinction between health and healing. So write a few words down. What do you associate with the word temple? And hopefully you have your notebook with you that you've been writing in the last couple of sessions. What words do you associate with temple? Everybody take yourself off mute. I'm looking for two or three words. What word do you associate with temple? Kitty?
Peace.
Awesome. Joanna?
Um, Safety.
Meditation.
Wow. Lauren,
Connection.
just note one word. Thank you.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. Lauren, one word.
Like be quiet.
Quiet. Leslie,
Sacred.
sacred. I got sacred. Louise,
Untouchable from outside.
wow. Awesome. Ellen,
Blessings.
blessings. Whoa. Isabel, take yourself off mute, please, Isabel.
Oh.
I can't hear you.
Peaceful.
Okay, can you correct your microphone? Because I can't hear what you're saying. And now I've got a picture of the ceiling, not you.
Peaceful.
Peaceful? Okay, you're very, very muffled. So the words I came up with regarding temple were honor
Oh,
and respect.
oh.
So everything that anybody said was, wow, thank you. I learned. So I just want to keep the energy of the words you all said as we speak for the next few moments. This series has been using your emotional body, your mental body. That was Mickey saying something. Hello. Tonight's using our physical body as a temple, and you said peaceful and quiet, and you said blessings, and all that's great. How many models can you write down that you know about regarding the physical body? So, do you understand the question when I say, what models do you know about regarding the physical body? You
I
read
don't
my,
understand.
And
okay, okay,
Could you define models, what you mean?
yeah.
No.
Orientations, medical models that have the body, that relate to the body. So the title of our discussion is using our body as a temple for healing. So how many models, what model did all of us grow up in? What paradigm regarding our body did all of us grow up in?
human.
You read my book. What model do I talk about at the very beginning of my book that we are seeped in, like our culture spends billions of dollars in
Oh,
this paradigm?
oh,
The
beauty,
Western model?
What is the Western model?
beauty,
What?
It's
beauty,
No.
The pain needs
duality.
removing.
Say what, please?
Right.
Okay, I should have had you reread the first chapter. Okay, so we are all hypnotized, no matter how new age you are. Trust me, by the allopathic medical model. Do you remember reading about the allopathic medical model?
Can't say that I do.
Leslie, when was the last time you read my book? I know.
Last year. No, 2 years ago.
Well, that
No,
okay.
no, it was last year. It was last year.
Okay. Well, so the model that all of us breathe in and accept as true is called the allopathic medical model.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So with the respect to a couple of nurses on the call and all of you being incredibly dedicated to learning about your body, what is the simplest definition of the allopathic model that your parents brought you up in?
The pain needs removing.
I'll take that as not bad. Somebody else? Because not all medicine is treating pain, is it? What's the central theme of the allopathic model? What's the opposite of why most of you are working closely with me for years?
Well, we're trying to
Oh,
preempt going to the doctor, essentially, right?
So now I want the opposite of that. So you're exactly right, Joanna. What would the opposite of trying to preempt, or the word we use is prevent? Because allopathic is medicine is what? It's extraordinarily reactive.
Mhm.
Allopathic medicine is based on a model of managing disease. Despite a few things here of take this to lower your cholesterol, or take this so that your menstrual cycle isn't painful, or take this so that your allergies don't happen, according to some other models I'm about to give you, there's very, very little in the allopathic model that is about health promotion. The central theme that Louise was getting at, but it's not quite as narrow as pain, is that whatever the symptom is, manage it or make it go away. That is the simplest, where we could spend 4, 5, 6, 10, 7 days doing a workshop to flush out details. That is the paradigm that we've all been brought up in. Yes or yes? Yeah?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can put vitamins and all sorts of things into an allopathic model. Just take this for the symptom and see if it goes away. People can use herbs and vitamins allopathically. Throw something against the wall and see if it sticks. Not bad. It's just part of, instead of using a drug to treat a symptom, use something that has less side effects. But you're still using it in the same paradigm because it's reactive. What now, Joanna, are they not asking? Either the client or the practitioner. They're not asking what's the what of this symptom. Yep.
Pause.
Thank you.
That's why I love you.
I love you. So there are a number of other models when we're looking at our body as a temple for healing. Some of which I know a lot about. A few I know very little to close to nothing about. So there's a whole system of Ayurvedic medicine from the Upanishads, which is looking multi-level at interrelationships. Step back. I wasn't complete. Forgive me. The allopathic medicine is very mechanistic, like our body is a machine. Like you take your car in for an oil change, a carburetor change, a transmission change. I need a new carburetor. Let's do a new knee. I'm not saying don't get a new knee if my stuff isn't going to help you with cartilage, you get a new knee, But there are a lot of things that people are doing, whether you take your gallbladder out, your uterus out, and you got endometriosis or fibroids, or you got, where there's no, I'm not saying surgery should never ever be done. I'm not saying drugs should never ever be used. But in the paradigm that most brilliant surgeons are working, the medical training in this allopathic world, or Italy or Sweden or Africa or Korea or Timbuktu, in an allopathic model, we're just treating symptoms. If you're with Louise, we're just helping somebody get rid of pain, which is not that bad if you're just taking a nail out that you stepped on. But if you're taking a gallbladder out, and then you take a gallbladder out, but somebody's going to continue to eat French fries and bacon because the surgeon has no training in nutrition, or arthritis or colitis or migraines, or somebody thinks, well, my parents had colitis, so I have colitis, so I'm just not going to eat these foods. And it's managed. That's not bad. But other models through thousands of years, there's an Ayurvedic model. Some of you have heard of a guy named Deepak Chopra. Yeah? Rock star, brilliant speaker. If you've never heard him, go on YouTube or TikTok or Google Deepak. He's an endocrinologist in a medical world, but he's an Indian man with a big, huge heart and a wonderful mind that speaks not only seeped in a model that I know very little about, but his interrelationships about how the lung has got communications with pancreatic cells and the pancreas has got, relationship to heart cells. And his way of seeing things is very different than an Aristotelian. Do you remember that from the first night, the introduction? Aristotle, Descartes, I think, therefore I am, different than Plato. So some of these other models that I'm going to give you are more Platonic models. They're very multidimensional and they don't see the physical human body just as a machine. That's why the first evening of this series, I wanted to give you the overview of mental, emotional, spiritual before I gave one evening. Now we're going to drill down just on the physical body. Another model that maybe some of you have heard more about, maybe you've never been to an Ayurvedic practitioner. An Ayurvedic practitioner uses a word called gunas, Gunas, a guna. What's a guna? It's an Indian word related to energy. And there are 3 different gunas, and it's a paradigm with its own distinctions, different than an Asian, Japanese, Korean, Chinese model of qi in what come to the West has been called acupuncture. Qi is the word that acupuncturists call energy. And Japanese, Chinese, Korean acupuncture is all slightly different, but it's way more the same than Ayurvedic, really different, another planet, and certainly acupuncture and the relationships of how energy flows and energy moves through points that now have been isolated of having electromagnetic relationships. That's what an acupuncture point is. It's a point on your body, and points are on lines that are called meridians. So that's a whole model that every physical organ is related to a different thought. Every physical organ is related to a different emotion. Acupuncture is brilliant and can be practiced very brilliantly as it was created, or somebody can just throw needles in the knee because the knee hurts, or can just throw needles in the wrist, or somebody's got asthma. Let me look in my book. Oh, these are the points to use for asthma, which is different than some acupuncturists read pulses, different than in Western medicine, counting how your heart's beating. They're measuring chi flow through the body. And some acupuncturists are brilliant. Oh my God. You'd think they were psychic. They're reading how the energy is flowing in your body, not just, oh, all acupuncturists are the same. That's not true. So I know a little to a lot, but not compared to some acupuncturists. But when I'm sitting with somebody, listening to them talk, examining their physical body, making recommendations, I am often listening to tone, facial expression, looking at their tongue, looking at swelling under their eyes, looking at dark circles under their eyes. There are all sorts of things in a world of acupuncture that they use as windows for chi flowing or chi being stuck. So I'm trained. As you know, I don't needle anybody, but I use my hands on acupuncture points, sometimes a lot. And people have taught me how to touch acupuncture points almost to put people in a trance, like in a meditative state. And that's what Reiki is, and that's what polarity is when you're touching certain acupuncture points where you're opening up the flow of energy. I'm trained to adjust people, but there are chiropractors, different model than acupuncture, different model than Ayurvedic, where if energy in Asian medicine is called what? What's the name for energy flow in Asia?
Gunas.
No.
No,
Chi.
gunas are
Or
in Ayurvedic.
Chi.
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 Yeah, gunas are in Ayurvedic medicine.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Never mind.
Chi is in acupuncture. What do the chiropractors call energy? So their name, again, different people, they're all talking about the same thing. So chiropractors, no matter what kind of chiropractor, some are not very good, some are unbelievably brilliant, but they can do really different things depending on what tools they're using as chiropractors, but they all call energy innate. That's what chiropractors call energy flow. What do naturopaths call energy? In my training, 3 years pre-med, 4 or 5 years medical school, what's just the word? So chiropractors call energy innate. Acupuncturists call it chi. Do you know what the naturopaths call this fundamental energy that gets expressed physically, mentally, emotionally? Ready? Doesn't matter if you know it. They call it vital force. So when you read naturopathic books, 1900, 1920, my book, people refer to how someone's vital force is. So the next few moments, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what my love and passion is, remembering it's only one particular platonic, interrelated, holographic, holistic way of seeing the body. And there are a lot of naturopaths you can imagine who think it's the best way or the only way. Those of you who know me well and have worked with me for a long time, a few of you don't know me well, you know me a little bit, I do my best to rally around somebody appreciating their body as a tool for healing rather than they've got to fall in love with naturopathic medicine. My job is to have them fall in love with their vital energy. So one thing you might want to write down that I offer you is for you to look at your physical body as a bodysuit. Like your physical body is a container. And in that container, you have substantive cells, tissues, collective tissues that make up organs, and you've got subtler energy, whether you call it chi or you call it innate. I don't call it chi unless I'm speaking Asian and I'm in an acupuncture world and I know how to adjust people. And I have a few of you that are patients. I've adjusted you, but a few of you have gone to Peter and Patty or other chiropractors who are like incredibly more skillful than I am. So there's subtle energy that can be moved, whether you're using needles, whether you're using food, whether you're using herbs, whether I'm putting my hands on your body on certain points, whether I'm doing Reiki, there's subtle and solid energy. Allopathic medicine treats mostly to only effects. These other models I'm offering you are looking at treating the cause when possible, to looking at how the basic energy gets dysfunctional and out of balance. So in a naturopathic model, I have offered some of you when I'm out speaking in my book, two different paths. One is a path of building, strengthening, and tonifying your body. Not just take this herb for make you breathe better. Yes, of course, you know me. I use foods, I use herbs, I use homeopathics, I use certain nutritional pieces. This will help your asthma. This will help your colitis. This will help you move your bowels. This will help your pain. This will help your endometriosis. But ultimately, my joy, and I'm tickling, provoking, seducing, inviting clients to ask and be curious. One of these two paths, are we going to go down them simultaneously? Or do I need to make a suggestion? You're coming to me to give you advice. Are we going to upregulate, strengthen organs? You've got some holes and gaps in certain vitamins. Not a vitamin deficiency, that's a medical term in an allopathic model. You have an insufficient amount of that nutrient for your body to function optimally. Like somebody has an allergic something, and I told somebody on the call before we started recording, you might want to take a lot of vitamin C. It will neutralize that allergic reaction. So that's not a vitamin C deficiency. Vitamin C deficiency is scurvy. I don't think I've ever seen scurvy. But there are a lot of things in someone's physical body, allergic reactions being an example, where it's suggesting to me that person doesn't have a sufficient amount for optimal function. So one of the paths as a naturopath that I invite people to consider as they use their physical body as a temple for healing is, do they need to stabilize blood sugar and build adrenals? Do they need to build their lungs or build their hormones? Or and when was the last time? Was it a year and a half ago when you first started working with me? When did we really work you up to get a baseline of your vitamins, your minerals, your essential fatty acids? And one of the paths I'm working on is optimal function. So that's a newer word, functional medicine. So one of the paths is the optimal functioning of organs is based on not minimum daily requirements. Minimum daily requirements were based on rat studies in the 1950s. Like, this is the minimum the rat needed to get scurvy, to not get scurvy. Or this is the minimum a rat needed to not get beriberi. So doctors like me don't look at minimums. We don't want people to get toxic, but there are very, very few. I mean, vitamin A you could, but it's totally turned around. How much does somebody need in this moment for a few weeks, 3 months, 6 months to optimize function? And that's very contrasted, second model, with, is your body overloaded with aluminum, mercury, lead? Hormones are not being broken down well. Metabolites. You move your bowels every day, but what you move your bowels today is what you ate 3 days ago. Your bowels are sluggish. You don't have the right amount in your microbiome of organisms to absorb, and you're wondering why you're taking this to move your bowels or you're taking that to slow them down, but nobody's ever tested you, I do, of how your microbiome is. So if the first path in a naturopathic model, in a functional medicine model, is strengthening, tonifying, building, closing gaps, doesn't mean you need to take handfuls of vitamins for the rest of your life, but I'm looking at big systems, your lungs, your digestion, your blood sugar, your adrenals, your hormones. That's different than, do you have toxins, heavy metals? Do you have a leaky tooth? Do you have mercury in your body that's leaking from cavities? Fillings that were made, you don't have cavities anymore, but your mercury fillings are 15, 20 years old. Most people these days don't have lead. A lot of people have cadmium. They wonder why their zinc is low. Your zinc is low, you're eating too much sugar. I eat very little, I know, but I just did a test. I measured you. So your cadmium might be fine, but zinc robs your body of calcium. Well, take some more vitamin D. Okay, you might need vitamin D, but you got to cut down on the sugar because sugar interferes with calcium. So there are these models. How many? 2. of how we support our body to be stronger. So write down 5 ways that what do you do to make your body stronger? Write down 5 ways you have habits, you have action steps. So between us, we could come up with 20, 30, but I want you to get clear before I add to some of what you've written down. Louise, are you on camera? Thank you. Yeah. So everybody take yourself off mute. Unmute. Thank you. And I'm going to give you another minute. Write down 5 things you do in the first path. What are 5 things you do to keep your body strong? You can write something down generally or write down something specifically. So I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you 3 categories. Can anybody help me? What's a big category that I help people with to build their body? Big category.
Nutrition.
Yeah. What's another word for nutrition? I'll take that as a great answer.
Supplements.
Yeah. But before supplements, what do I want people to know about?
Diet. Diet.
Thank you. And I hate the word diet, so I use what word?
Nutrients, food,
I
nutrients.
said that. Nutrition.
So, before he passed away, I was a big Richard Simmons fan. And when I went to dance with him
Oh,
and about 3,000 women, that was a
I
great,
loved him.
so Richard Simmons is great. And, I was the only guy there and I was in a sea of women screaming after him. And he reminded everybody that the first 3 letters of diet are,
Die.
so I don't use diets, I use food plans. So,
Oh,
so food is a huge category to help this first path get your body strong. And then there's supplements as part of foods. Yep. Nutrients specific. So what foods do you eat to help keep your body strong? Like intentionally. What do you eat to keep your body strong?
all kinds of stuff.
Okay, so what's a second category? I want you to get the categories so it'll be easier to write things down. So food is a category. What's another category? Very similar to food, but not quite as solid. What's another category?
Drink water,
Thank you. And water is an example of what?
Hydration.
hydration, I guess.
Water is an example of a liquid. So liquid is another category. What liquids do you drink to support your body?
Wow.
Now, so if you change liquid into something subtler, it becomes what? What happens to the lakes and oceans and what happens to liquid? It what?
Evaporates.
Thank you. Into what?
Um,
Air.
water vapor, yeah, water vapor.
So the third category that we human beings have is food, air, and liquids.
Mhm.
Now, remember, my training that I've spent thousands and thousands of hours and a lot more than that in terms of dollars is to get very precise. What foods are good for the ovaries? What kind of air is good for the lungs? What kind of air is really good if you're having early dementia? So without getting very specific, write down what are some foods that you eat to keep your body strong. That's one of the pathways of using your body as a temple. What liquids do you drink? What, if anything, do you do? It's all about air. How do you change air coming in and out of your body? Okay, can we do this quickly? Great. Ellen, one food, please.
Vegetables.
Great. Give me 2 different ones that you love.
Asparagus and broccoli.
Excellent. So asparagus is really good for the kidneys. Asparagus is really good for a number of specific issues. And broccoli is a good fruit vegetable for a lot of things. Isabel, one liquid that you drink that you use knowing it's really good to get your body strong. I can't hear you.
Water.
Good. Is there something going on with your mic?
My computer froze, so I'm using my phone.
Ah, sorry, dear. Joanna, one food that you use that you eat to help your body?
Berries.
Excellent.
Mm.
Lauren, any liquid that you drink, particularly knowing it's good for your body?
Lemon juice.
Excellent. Incredibly alkalizing. Louise, any food that you eat that's really good for your body?
Fruit.
Excellent. Lots of antioxidants, lots of specific, the colors have all sorts of different nutrients. Leslie, what's one example of how you change air moving in life?
Change air.
Yeah, going
I-
in and out of your body.
I
What do you do
change.
to change how you breathe?
Oh, I breathe in through my nose.
Yeah, what do you do to breathe in through your nose?
I
Do you-
expand my lungs.
No, no,
Suck
no,
it
no,
in.
no, no,
No,
no. Are you doing a technique? Do you hold your nostril and breathe in 1 and breathe out 5 and breathe in 3? Or
no.
what do you do? If I looked at you and I was from Mars, what would I see you doing?
Just my chest would rise and fall.
What are you doing to make your chest rise and fall?
Breathing
How, how are you breathing? What are you
in and
doing?
out. Pardon me?
You're doing a Peloton.
Oh,
Or
oh,
you're,
oh, I'm breathing hard. Yeah, I'm breathing hard.
no, no, no. I
Um,
don't want hard or soft. I want you to know what action
oh,
you're
oh, oh,
taking.
oh, sucking the air in and it's gonna go all through my body and
No, no, you're still not hearing me, hon. No,
no, I'm not.
no, no. So hang on, Kitty,
Okay.
Kitty,
Yes.
what's one thing you do to change how you breathe?
I set an intention and I might meditate
Okay, and
all
when you
night.
and
Okay.
do you do some technique while you're meditating? Do you do something called pranayama, or do you hold your nostrils in a certain way?
I do the not alternating nostrils. I do deep belly breathing. I do fast pace,
Good.
inhale, exhale.
So those are 3 different techniques of bringing the
Well,
breath down slowly up. So I want all of you, if you'd be kind enough to get clear. Some of you, I know, walk. I walk, honey. You know, low these days for me is 7, 8,000 steps. You know, a year ago I was doing 10, 12,000 steps a day. I'll get back, I've been a little bit untwisting myself. So some of you change how you breathe by walking. Some of you change doing Pilates. Some of you change how you breathe by doing dancing. So I want you to appreciate that this pathway of building and strengthening your body, you don't just do by thinking about it, you do it through food, liquids, and air. You with me?
Mm.
Good. Another list, make a list of something that you do. I'm going to start you off. This other pathway of cleansing and detoxing, first is we identify what the toxin is, at least if somebody's in my office. I'm going to test them in any one of a number of ways about pesticides, additives, chemicals, allergens. And then if there is something to detox, we humans detox them through how we move our bowels, how our lungs work, how our livers work, how our extra lymph glands in our neck and groin work, how our kidney bladder is working, how our liver is working. So again, what kinds of things have you read or do you do once a year, once a week? What do you do to help your body detox?
I do the Love Your Body program.
Thank you. Write down, okay.
That's I love you.
I had to get something right. And it's a Ujjayi breath. That's what I do, Ujjayi breath.
So if you be kind enough, so write down, what do you do to cleanse or detox? Whether you know you've got heavy metals to detox or you don't, you eat organically, you just live in a very polluted world, but it accumulates. Some of you, the answer is, I don't know. And that would be a really good, well, maybe you want to find out. But a few of you on this, in this discussion, Louise, Isabel, Kitty for sure, Leslie,
Yes.
besides doing the Love Your Body program, hold on, Les, I'm going to ask Louise. Louise, what's one thing you do to help you detox?
But I agree with Leslie, do you love your body program?
All right, so now both
Or
of you,
cut out dairy.
yeah, well, beside that, that's something you eliminate. Is there anything you add to help you detox? I hope to get you started by looking at your liver, your kidneys, your skin, your lungs, your kidney bladder, your colon. So you can eliminate something. What else might you add that's going to help you detox? Water, liquids, air. 1 second, Les.
Supplements.
Yeah, specific. Tell us what you know. I know it's a vast world,
Well, you've got healthy adrenals.
but adrenals wouldn't help you detox. That would be in the first path, building an organ to work better. Adrenals are not helping you detox. An adrenal supplement, a B vitamin supplement is going to help an organ do something to build its strength and function. Kitty, what's one thing you do to help you detox in the
Well, I
world?
do like to go on an alkaline diet.
Excellent. And when you're eating more alkaline, less acid, what foods do you emphasize more?
Well, I eat a lot more vegetables and beans and peas, but vegetables, I would say. I
So
go on
you cut
vegetables.
out coffee and you cut down red meat and you cut out dairy. Looks like a cat to me. And you eat things that would upregulate, get your colon and liver and kidney and skin and lymph. There are nutrients, as Louise said. There are herbs, beets, there are vegetable juices. Somebody might do saunas or steams. Somebody might exercise where they put a towel around their neck or wear a hooded sweatshirt. Things that I have people do in my Love Your Body programs to help the organs of elimination open up and work better. That doesn't mean they have to fast, but they're probably not having their regular cup of coffee and donut and ham and cheese sandwich for lunch, but maybe they're just having a whole lot of vegetables and vegetable soups and brown rice and fish, or they're doing something more extreme. In a naturopathic model, when we're looking at using our body as a temple for healing, we're looking at things for your skin, cucumbers and apples. We're looking at asparagus and parsley for a kidney and bladder. We're looking at beets and how they work to help your liver work better. We're looking at larger fibrous flaxseed meal and other things that would help form what's called a bolus and to kind of push things, take things off the side walls of the colon so that you can absorb and assimilate better. Things like echinacea or red clover are blood purifiers or help clear out the lymphatics. People take hot and cold showers. People take steam baths. People take saunas. People help get their lungs to work better. They do different juices for 5 days, for 7 days, for 3 weeks, for 6 weeks. Oh, wow, that made a huge difference with my cholesterol or my breast cancer or my colitis or my allergies. I just, as Kitty started us off, I dramatically alkalized. If my blood sugar was steady enough and Louise was, or other people are taking enough adrenal, because it's hard to detox if your blood sugar's been bouncing around because you've been missing breakfast for the last 3 months, 3 years, leaning on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cup of coffee. So those are two big paths: building, strengthening, tonifying, resting, cleansing, detoxing. Doesn't have to be fasting. So what happens? What's one of the keys to dementia as people are getting into their 50s and 60s and 70s? What's happening when people have unbridled allergies, or their colitis just doesn't kick in because they're staying away from certain foods, but they haven't healed the mucous membrane inside their small or large intestine? What's that? The other huge path in naturopathic medicine is to reduce inflammation. Inflammation is the result of toxins, allergens, low-grade infections that people have been carrying around for years, and they have candida, or they've got low-grade COVID, or they've got all sorts of infections that they're carrying, and they cut down dairy or they cut down sugar. And I'm not saying everyone has to go off sugar 100%, and I'm not saying everybody has to cut out dairy. I'm not saying nobody should have a cheeseburger or a bacon burger. I'm saying if you want a big piece, you want to take a big bite of the apple of how to use your body as a tool for healing, as a temple for healing, it's how do you reduce inflammation? And what causes inflammation? How well do you know your herbs and food? What herbs or food reduce inflammation? If you're going to reduce dairy a lot or a little to get over your arthritis, to help you get over your allergies, to get over your pain, to get over your cancer, what kinds of things will help reduce inflammation? You got early signs of memory loss. You got inflammation in your brain and you're 68 and you're wondering why you're not as sharp. Anybody know what foods are anti-inflammatory? If coffee, dairy, alcohol are big inflammatory triggers, what foods are anti-inflammatory?
Blueberry,
I can't hear you.
blueberry.
Blueberries, a little bit. Not my top 5, but blueberries, okay.
That's all your alkaline foods, your green leafy vegetables and all the
Generally,
alkaline things.
generally we're going to alkalize. Good. Any specific herbs you know about?
Turmeric, curcumin.
Excellent. That's 2
Yeah.
names for the same herb. So
Yeah.
write down turmeric. What's turmeric's brother, sister, cousin? Is not turmeric. What's another fabulous anti-inflammatory herb, Lauren?
Mhm.
Lauren?
Uh, Vegetables or
Oh, herb. What's another anti-inflammatory herb that you like, that you drink
uh,
as a tea?
ginger?
Thank you. So ginger capsules, ginger tea, ginger in hot water is an amazing anti-inflammatory. Coconut oil is an amazing anti-inflammatory. Omega-3 fish oils in salmon, or there's this new rarefied omegas that they're making now called SPMs that are like super concentrated that help people with autoimmune problems. Very, very anti-inflammatory. It's like taking 4 or 5 omegas in one capsule. So if somebody takes 2 or 3 of these SPMs a day, it's like, wow, does amazing things for arthritises and all sorts of inflammatory problems, irritable bowel and all sorts of things. And it's a brand new supplement. They didn't know, nobody was making SPMs a year and a half ago. And now there are a couple of companies, very expensive stuff. Green leafy vegetables, as Kitty said, vitamin C rich foods. Very, as Isabel said, berries, Joanna said, high vitamin C are antioxidant inflammatory foods.
And celery juice, I make my own.
Good. Write down, do I need to reduce inflammation in my body? The next time you see me, do you want to ask me, Dr. B, do you think my inflammation is mild, moderate, more than mild, more than moderate, or severe? And if you give me permission, I'll tell you the answer. It would be great if you and I could keep our inflammation at mild all the time. The model that I work in is you and I can't, because we live in a polluted world. Even if you lived on an organic farm and you lived organically all the time and you never had a bite of sugar and you never had a sip of wine, which I'm not even saying would be the good thing to do. Maybe some people want to never have sugar the rest of their life or wine, but even if you did, the air pollution and what we breathe, and some of us, the life lessons emotionally, spiritually, mentally are so challenging. Our hormones are so off. Our cortisol levels from so much adrenaline are pumping, pumping, pumping that we need to reduce the cortisol levels. That's where meditation or Tai Chi or journaling or playing the piano, because when cortisol starts really skyrocketing, guess what happens? You shift acid. You start developing more of an inflammatory process. I'm going to close. If you'd be kind enough, we're starting with Joanna's celery juice. Write down 3 or 4 or 5 things that you do. Anybody else do celery juice like Joanna? See, you could
I
look
love it.
you could look fabulous like Joanna too. You just have to drink celery juice like she does.
And I don't
love
eat sugar, no sugar.
Oh, no.
I love sugar.
Oh, okay. So write down a couple of things in a world of celery juice. You have a few supplements that you take from me. You eat a few foods. What are some lifestyle and foods that you do that promote your body to be a temple for transformation? Some of you do my green, red, orange, purple drink. Some of you do my protein drink. Some of you don't do that, but you do other things. Write down 3 or 4 things that just should be easy. It should take you 30 seconds. What are some things that you do that help promote your body as a temple for transformation? And I'm ending the evening's discussion tonight, before you ask some questions about transformation, because next week is our last discussion on our spiritual body. And I'm going to speak to you about all the things I've wanted to share with you about transformation that I haven't said. I want to talk to you about this world of spirituality. I'm going to give you a hint. I don't know much or anything, and so therefore I'm not going to say anything about past lives. I'm having enough challenges with this life, and I certainly don't know much about anything about future lives. So I want to talk about spiritual qualities in a body as human beings. And I'm going to use that by talking a lot about this quality called transformation. So take 10, 15 seconds. What are some habits that you do that promote transformation, physical health in your body? You walk 3 times a week. You make sure to drink 4 or 5 glasses of water. This is your time to be writing. I'm just tickling you.
I already did it.
You already did it. Okay.
Yes.
You have a couple of things written?
Yes, I do.
Thanks. Joanna, you have a couple of things besides
Mhm.
celery juice? Great. Lauren, you have a couple of things written? Ellen, a couple of things written?
Mhm.
Couple of things. Now, the reason I'd like you to very quickly just say three is I'd like some of you to steal from each other. If somebody says something like, "Oh wow, I used to do that," write it down. So just three things. Leslie, what are three things you do that promotes your physical body's health?
I drink beet juice.
Excellent.
I drink the Love Your Body protein.
Excellent.
I do that. And also I do something, I meditate.
Excellent. Thank you. Louise, three things you do, please, on.
I use my CPAP machine to increase the amount of oxygen. I swim and I eat a lot of beets.
Oh, awesome. Kitty?
I exercise either Pilates or walking or eccentrics. I am meditating at least twice a day, heart coherence throughout the day. I eat fermented foods.
That's three. That's it. You're
Oh,
done.
that's it. That's
That's
enough.
great. See if there's something someone says that you want to write down, like, I want to email Kitty and ask her what fermented food she eats. Joanna, three things you do, please.
I have a full house water purifying system.
Wow.
So my water is great. I drink a ton of water.
Yeah.
I do Pilates and weights.
Wow.
I take collagen and protein powder and
Okay.
kombucha.
Okay, that's four. You're done.
Oh, sorry.
Unbelievable. It's working. It's working. Isabel, did you get to write things down or did we lose you?
Lost me for a little bit, but I exercise, do dancing weights, and I drink lemon water and filtered water, and eat leafy green vegetables.
Great. So I want to underline what a couple of you said before we ask Ellen, and then see if you have any questions before we say goodbye to one another. Unless you're purifying your water, most water coming through most houses is not drinkable. And quality, what's called optimal water, can be really, really important. I have access and sell a machine to some clients. It's expensive, but they get like 30-40% off what it's supposed to sell for. It's called a living water machine. And if you can get water, not
A Brita filter.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Not a Brita filter for $40 that just takes chlorine out. That's like incredibly insufficient.
But Dr. Taylor, that's what for a long time, that's what we thought was good.
We're talking about changing the alkalinity of your water and drinking water that's 8, 9, 10, and drinking water that's really purified. At another time, see if you have any questions. Ellen, three things, please, that you do to promote your health.
Well, I drink distilled water if I'm home because I don't have any type of water purifier, but I do add minerals and electrolytes to the water.
Glad you do that. Otherwise, I was going to say something. Okay, what are
And
two?
lemon, yeah, because I know it can deplete minerals. And then I do have a plant-based protein drink in the morning.
Okay,
That's my breakfast usually, and I either walk or do qigong, one or the other daily.
great. I love Qigong and I love Tai Chi. Anybody want to ask? Thank you so much, Ellen. Anybody want to ask me something? Anything you want me to clarify? Anything you don't want to ask, but you want to make a comment? Isabel, speak up because it's hard to hear you.
Okay, I have just a question about dairy. Does dairy include goat yogurt, goat cheese?
Some people can do goat yogurt and sheep milk. If their basic inflammation is pretty low, then they can do some of that, but not daily. But throughout the week, they can do some goat yogurt and sheep yogurt. I don't want to think like anything from that's white and gooey and dairy is bad, but the length of a cow milk to make a calf into a cow is just something that we all got hypnotized that we all need and then like because it's so gooey, you know. So some people can handle goat milk, sheep milk, goat yogurt, goat cheese differently, but they do or don't have cancer. They do or don't have arthritis. They do or don't have colitis. They do or don't have eczema. They do or don't have migraines. They have just recovered from a migraine. Their menopause is no symptoms, no hot flashes, no night sweats. The libido is fabulous. So all of those questions, rather than yes, anyone, always, it's who are we talking about? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? They do or don't have heavy metals. And then what are we putting together as opposed to everyone should do this?
I guess one clarifying question is goat, are goat products considered dairy or not?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Just goat dairy, not cow dairy.
Okay.
Usually doesn't have antibiotics and hormones and all sorts of other things, because a goat might weigh what you weigh, maybe 20, 30, 50 pounds more, but not 1,500 pounds more.
Yeah, okay.
The hormones that a goat puts into her goat milk to make her calf fatten up, and that calf weighs 60, 70, 80 pounds, is going to put on 100 pounds, is a different hormone than what cows put into their milk to have a calf grow into a 15, 1,800 cow. It's just looks the same, white liquid, totally different. Any other comments? Any other questions? Please.
I do. Excuse me, this is Ellen.
Hey,
We talked earlier about if someone went to see you and you should ask the question, where am I on the inflammation scale?
Yeah.
How do you determine that?
Oh, that's a great question. And I'll say I have a lot of different tools.
Okay.
There's just a lot of tests that are part of a physical exam, part of a conversation intake, part of a machine I use that evaluates. It's a $20,000, $30,000 computer.
Okay.
I had lunch with an amazing MD today, and I was telling her about my machine. She goes, "Yeah, I heard of those machines." Yeah, of course, she wasn't an American woman. She was, from another country, but she was amazingly open. It was great. Yeah. So I can measure frequencies and evaluate somebody in looking looking in their eyes and doing iridology. There are, how many things are telling me the same thing
Mhm.
as opposed to one test.
Okay.
I have a dear friend, no names mentioned, definitely not somebody on this call. And when I speak to this person, not even going to tell you if they're a male or a female.
Yeah.
And when I speak to this person, I was speaking to this person the other day.
Would you like a piece of cheese?
Well, this person loves cheese.
Would you like a piece of cheese?
And sometimes when we're walking, this person will go, and spit, and I'll go. Well, the other night I called him. Well, it's got a lot of phlegm. It's got a lot of inflammation. And the other night I called him, this person, and I said, "Are you eating?"
Piece of cheese.
And the person said, "Yeah." And I said, "Would you like to call me back when you're done?" He said, "No, I don't have to." And and I used his name. I said, "What do you?" I said, "No," because I could hear. He said, "I'm having ice cream." I mean,
Oh my
What
God.
kind?
I'm not Scrooge, I don't think. I'm not going to tell him, he shouldn't have ice cream, except he has a condition that he's a wonderful, 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 sweet person. But not everybody's gonna, oh, I think my brain's going to work. I think that makes sense. Dr. Barry's not the only one who says my dementia is related to inflammation, brain inflammation. I just listened to this pitch that this woman put together, a fabulous something selling some supplements. It was a great hour for free, of course. And she was explaining how their brains get inflamed by eating sugar and dairy. You either believe it or you don't. That doesn't mean you never eat sugar or dairy unless your Alzheimer's and dementia is really kicked in, and then maybe you go off it for a month or 2 or 3 or 6, and then have ice cream once a month or twice a month or a little or 2 spoonfuls. You know, it's not. Those of you who've worked closely with me know that if we're talking about a week or 2 or 3, well, then maybe the answer is 0.
That's
And
right.
and if you resonate, Leslie's done enough Love Your Body programs.
I know how guilty I am. I know what's wrong with me. And
But-
I'm
but-
gonna do it.
But different people resonate. It doesn't mean you stay off that the rest of your life forever, unless you're a person who that's what resonates for you. And if that's what resonates for you, then don't have any more dairy. You know, you've used that one up. Don't have any. But for other people, their eczema and their arthritis and their weight can stabilize, and their skin and their hair falling out and their allergies and their focus. I mean, when you do Love Your Body programs, I think I'll probably do a Love Your Body program in a month or two. You hear 15, 20.
I'll do it with.
I know. So, you have to be careful of making this a religion. Health is if you don't eat sugar. Health, I mean, there are a lot of health food radicals. People think I'm a health food radical. I know a health food radical when I see them, you know.
No, health food not, Dr. Taylor.
Health
Health
food,
food not.
health food nut. Here's what a health food nut is. Do any of you lived in Boston long enough? Do you remember a wonderful restaurant downtown that was a macrobiotic high-end restaurant?
The open sesame.
Well, Open Sesame was in Brookline, and that was a lesser one. There was one down across from the Public Garden. Their food was extraordinary.
Oh,
And
what
the-
was the name of that?
And the waitresses, but one of us will get it, Les. And the waitresses came over from Japan, and there were these lovely, small, Japanese robed, born again macrobiotic. And I
Oh
and I
God. What was the name of it?
7 seasons, 7 something. We'll both get it. Anyway,
Oh,
the point I'm making is I used to eat there 2-3 times a week. I lived in near Cleveland Circle. This is late 60s, early 1970s. So fabulous restaurant.
was it 7 seasons?
It wasn't, no, it was something else. It was something else. And I remember, not to keep you guys any longer, that I would order 1 or 2 glasses of organic apple cider. And a waitress would come up to me and go, too much sugar,
Yeah.
apple juice, very yin. Some foods are yin, salt and meat is yang,
Yeah.
sugar, fruit, very yin. And they would come up to me and they'd go, very, very yin, not good for you. And I'd poke my head around and look at them behind the counter, and they were all smoking.
Yes, you could do that. Absolutely. You could do that.
They were all, and you could smoke if you had your yin and your yang balanced.
That's right.
And it was like, oh my God.
Misio Kuchi said that.
Miso,
The guy that had the Air One store that you could smoke.
God bless him. Right.
Yeah.
One of us, Leslie, will remember the name of the restaurant, and we'll.
I'll text you tonight.
Right. Thank you so much for listening. I'm here. Thank you. Hopefully all of you can be with us next week, our last session. And thank you for listening.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Thank you.
Good night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Sleep well.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.